HVAC people.
So I got this American Standard or Trane the President unit. Got to change the condenser fan motor out. It has a bad cap on it, cap reading 0, but the fan is seizing up also. You see how slow it's going, but probably could get by with a cap, but we're gonna go ahead and change the fan motor out so they'll be good for the summertime. You see how rusty it is, so that's what I'm gonna be working on. All I bought was this bucket. Hope I got everything I need in here. Like that shaft look a little rusty there, so got a little lubricant, puller. Shouldn't need this 3-puller. Bought it just in case. It's an OEM motor, first series OEM from Trane. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All the tools that I brought up: meter, wire strippers, sand that shaft down, 7.5 cap, motor. Should be all I need. We ain't got no dead leg going on here. I would like to double check at the unit, because sometimes if a fuse blown or something in this disconnect, people will bypass. Or sometimes you can get a leg that's stuck, but we look like we're good to go. So this is not WD-40, but this is WD-40 top. This called Knocker Loose. do you? So I just cut them right here. And pull my new ones through. I gotta be very careful with these. But I didn't bring my my hand 5/16 up. I don't want to strip them out. My wire to go right there. So this is a 460 volt. Got 460, 1/3 horsepower, 1100 RPM. Use 7.5 cap. Same thing with this motor. Kind of hard to read with 460. They got horsepower 33. That's 1/3. And RPM. This RPM 1115. This one 1100, but it's about the same. All right. Appreciate all the comments. One of my YouTube subscribers told me to do this. I never thought of that. Need something instead of if you was on the ground or something, instead of getting your stuff in the dirt or the mud. Need something to hold it on to. Stick it in the box. Some things so obvious, but it's good to have a good community. Get a bunch of good ideas. Over here, like, gotta make your own thread. Right. So you can cut this ground. You don't really need that ground because the motor is grounded itself to this chassis. Cut that off. All right, I knew I was gonna forget something. I didn't bring my tape. So hopefully I can use this tape they got instead of going back down. As you can see, they all the same color, black, brown, and purple. I think the black and brown go to the capacitor. You know, some people just wire nut it right here. You can do that, it won't hurt nothing. So I just took a look at the other motor. The blade was sitting about right there, so I put it in the same spot. She'll spin freely. So I'm gonna discharge this cap. Alright, should be good. Make sure they cap discharged. Well, actually, I need to put a new one on there anyway. Here's the new one. Brown wire go on this side of the cap. Did I just do that? On the new cap. Brown go on this side of the cap, and you got a purple going to the contactor. That's gonna give it its charge. You got a purple coming from the fan. And just 3 wires, and the next one should be a black wire. I think this is it right here. Right here. You see it pulling. Good there. Like I said, this cap was bad. MFD. Reading 2.3 MFD. I don't know if you can see that glass, but it's not good. So I'm gonna run down and get my gauges and some tie straps. I'm gonna go ahead and test her out though. She'll be good to go. Check the amps on the motor. Beer can cold. Alright, I'm gonna run down and get some gauge and we'll check the pressures on it. Make sure we're good. Check the pressures. I'm not worried about superheating subcooling on this little package. As long as my pressures look like they okay, be good. I think it's an R22 system. I think. I double check it. It's R22 here. Press 66 over 250. That's pretty good. Like I say, you see the gauges say 410A. It don't matter what kind of refrigerant you got the digital gauges set to. If all you checking the pressure gonna be pressure. Don't matter what kind of refrigerant in it. You just checking PSI. I know sometimes people look at my videos, you know, when I'm checking pressures, and they see the refrigerant says 410A. You can change it to R22, but the pressure's not going to change. It's still gonna be 620233. So it don't matter what kind of, you know, what you got it set for. Cause I can have it set correctly in my phone and they'll be different on the gauges. Let's see, R22. Saturation 36, that's pretty good. Like I say, if I go to my phone, elevation, 48 feet. So you know it's hard to see that screen with that sun shining like that. See if I can put it this way. But I'm almost positive it's an R22 system. Can't hardly read the tag. It's R22 though. You got some old Goodmans up here. Them Lennox been changed out. I think them Lennox, the only 410A units up here. Check my supply and my discharge air temperature. I don't know what's going on with the drain system. Look like it probably used to be a T right here. See if I got one in my truck. It's cold water there, so you know it's blowing cold. Alright, so I got what, about 75 return. Let's see what the supply temperature look like. A lot of time when we were doing commercial work and we do maintenance, that's all we checking, supply return. If you got a good supply return between 18 and 21 degrees, split across the evaporator, I mean, you're good to go. Some people do 15 to 21. I like 18 to 21, give me about a 3-degree difference before I hook up my gauge to them. But anyway, 58, what, 74, 75, I mean, we're good. Still dropping 57 supply. I'm caught at about 58. And it's gonna start getting cooler too. Like I say, that water, that's cold right there. So we're blowing snowballs. Fan looking good, got the good amps on the fan and the compressor. That's a wrap, we're gonna get out of here.